So intersectionality, I think about identity politics, and I think about how we conceive of identity, because of course we have to remember this is a social construction, how we've decided and chosen to categorize people in this case. And so by how we define people, we show what we put at the center of that definition. And so in this case, we put this white, straight male in the center. And therefore, when you're talking about other people that don't conform to that lineup, we have to add, we have this additive model of, oh, it's a woman, it's someone of this, non-white race, and so on. But instead, we could put someone who's of a complex intersectional identity, someone who's mixed race, someone who's bisexual, someone who's gender nonconforming in the center. And how would that change our perspective of how we define and identify people?
Yeah, and I think it kind of builds on this whole idea of people being multidimensional and multi-layered. But if there are, we know that there are certain people that using the white male elite as the reference point for everything. But I was like, wow, if you were a mixed race, lesbian, feminist, amputee from a low socioeconomic status, that's like the intersection of 5 variables that cause greater challenge and can have greater risk of harm to you because of those things.
But in that case, again, it's like a social construction that would be a negative, that any of those
right, absolutely
be a negative. And so it just points to more also the power, who has power in our society, absolutely. Why are certain groups considered, why are men considered higher power than women, and so on down the line. And so then historically you can look to how these constructions were established.
Yeah, and I think it's definitely something that really you can look at the macro and micro level on that concept and see the interrelationship and how it plays out in the way that people see themselves, and the way that people see others, and the way that we can say, well, this is the thing, what I have going against me, I am not going to be able to do that. And some people will stop just right in the beginning, they're already stopped and they're already told, what they can and cannot do based upon these layers of their identity.
Within identity politics, and I'm thinking about my background in women's studies, we start with, talking about these dichotomies of white and black, and gay and straight. And so I think that it's important for us also to just try to step away from these kind of dominant categories and think about categories that often aren't talked about. Gender nonconforming in the center, and how would that change our perspective of how we define and identify people?